once again, where we come to you weekly and talk about some things that we're dealing with or have dealt with while we're on this journey of going after our goals and dreams, and hopes to inspire someone to actually start their journey as well as motivate those who already have. So, in case for those of you who don't know, my name is Jeremiah Dace, and I'm joined with the lovely and amazing Xavier Spraylow.
Hey, how y'all doing today?
I'm sure they are doing lovely. No, I'm super excited about this episode, guys. We're going to talk about the fear of success. Everybody talks about the fear of failure. That's common. I think that's normal. It's normal to fear failure. But when you make that shift and have that fear of success, it's an entirely different ball game. Actually, it's maybe not entirely different.
No, I mean,
but it's different. You know what I mean? It's like basketball and baseball. You know, they both ball games. Mm-hmm. But it's two different balls. Anyway, so you know what I mean? But you know, before I get into that, okay, so I was having a conversation with my girlfriend earlier today, and she was talking about going something to do Monday with her cousin. Okay. They were going rock climbing, but they couldn't go rock climbing anymore, so she was trying to figure something out. And I made a statement. I said not to change the subject, but, and then I realized, like, yo, why do people say that? Because it's like I knew. Without shut up, I was like, yo, I'm about to change the subject. So I don't know why I said, hey, not to change the subject, but, like, yo, like, you know what I mean?
And then you just
changed the subject. Like, I don't understand why people put that disclaimer out there, like, that, or like, not to do this, but, or like, not to be rude, but, like, yo.
What I think is even funny, like, we don't even take it literally. So for you to be like, hold on, why did I just do that? And I am about to change the subject. I think that's even more funny. But
I think people, yeah, we just say things, we don't really realize what we're saying. You know what I mean? But it's like, not to change the subject, or not to be rude, but like, okay, so I need to prepare myself because something rude about to come out of your mouth. You know what I mean? That's basically a disclaimer, like, yo, this is about to happen. I'm not the same subject, but I'm changing this subject. Anyway, I just thought that was like, we just say things that we don't really realize what we're saying. Anyway, yeah. So to get into the show, guys, we're gonna talk about, like I said, we're gonna talk about the fear of success. And our experiences with it, some things that we dealt with and how we overcame them and how we move forward past them. So to start things off, of course, I'm going to throw it to, talking about baseball, basketball, I'm going to throw it to Zay and let her express her experiences with that.
For mine, it was actually really, really recent. It was last September. So I never really felt the fear or success. Well, I didn't really know I did until last September. Actually, before then, I used to always, you know, you would hear the term, "Oh, don't have the fear of success." And I used to think, like, growing up, like, who would be scared to have everything they want? That's what I used to think. Yeah. But last September, I was talking to my mentor, and he was like, he asked me, he was like, Xavier, why aren't you doing what I know you can do in your business? Like, how come you aren't achieving all of these goals and dreams that you're always talking about? Like, what's the holdup? And before I could even think of an answer, I heard myself say, I'm serious, I heard myself say, well, I guess I'm just scared. And in that moment, I realized that I was scared. And so after we had that conversation and throughout the conversation, I was just thinking about, like, what am I scared of? And for me, after, like, thinking about it and just marinating on the subject, I realized that I was just kind of nervous to realize how easy it is to accomplish all my goals and dreams. Like, before, I never, you know, whenever you start doing things and you start to see results, it's like, oh man. And I didn't know I was scared until he asked me, but it was kind of weird.
So, like, the simplicity of, because all I have to do is A, B, C,
yes,
and I'll get D. Mm-hmm. So, like, that,
yeah. It made, but I didn't, until having that conversation with him, that's why I say, if you got a mentor or somebody who's, like, really want to take you under their wing, literally, like, be a student and, like, take everything you can for them, because honestly, if you wouldn't have asked me those questions, I don't know if it would have changed my mentality in that moment.
That shift.
Yeah, so that was definitely, like, a game changer for me, and because I didn't even know I was afraid, but he was like, hey, you know, why aren't you doing what I know you can do, what you know you can do? You talk about it, you know, you have everything, you know, in order. Why haven't you gotten there yet? And I was just like, I'm scared. But I didn't even know I was scared until he asked me, and I said it. So, but I guess, yeah, for me, it's just realizing how easy it is just to go after my goals and dreams. That kind of made me nervous. That was kind of,
It's kind of like it's like a reality check. Like, it's really not that far.
Right.
Like, if I put in the work, like, yo, some of the things that I actually want is really not. It's a lot closer than I think. Mm-hmm. So I see what you're saying. Okay, yeah. Okay.
So I thought it was like I said, it was just like a shift. Because before then, like I said, I never thought about it, but I was like, wow.
It's kind of like that quote. I think it's like a sonnet or something. You know what I mean? Where it's talking about how it's not. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we're powerful, but not measured. And then you realize just how amazing you are, and sometimes that can be scary. It's like, yo, like, if I really, all I gotta do is put in the work, and I'm more than capable of putting in the work, and then next thing you know, I'll be there.
Yep. And just how easy it is, like, you know, by just putting myself in situations, just going out, meeting people, and, you know, just getting involved, and just different things, and just realizing, wow, all I do is have to do this, or, you know, when you meet more people, and then you can have that help, and, you know, it's just amazing. I don't know. So what about you? Have you ever been faced with the fear of success, and how have you overcome it?
I think that, I mean, the fear of success, I think it comes in like many different forms, you know, like, because when we're talking about success, guys, we're not just talking about like the American dream, you know, if you will, like have a lot of money and drive the nice car and have the house, things like that. Because success can be broken down into many facets, to where you're talking about like weight loss goals, or you know, getting that award at work, or, you know, or getting that certification in a certain field that you're trying to get the certification in. So for me, my struggles with success came from like a younger age, when I didn't really want people to look at me differently if I went after something. Like, if I was trying to, if I was trying to be, you know, like the #1 tennis player on the team, or if I was trying to be a better dancer, or if I was trying to be like I was a really good drawer, or an artist or whatever. So I would kind of dummy down my artwork. So I would do that because I didn't want people around me to feel insecure, or I didn't want people around me to look at me differently, or I didn't want people around me to feel like they weren't as good, if not better, in certain situations. So I would literally let people win. I would let people. I would let people overpower me. Like, if I was wrestling with a friend, I would let him beat me. Or if we're playing tennis and we're having a good match, I would let him win, because I didn't want him to look at me as like, oh, who do he think he is? I didn't want him to feel like, oh, I'll never be as good as, or I'm not good enough. So I didn't want them to look at themselves in a certain way, and I didn't want them to look at me in a certain way. So I would not give it everything I had. I would hold back. And then I made up this lie, or I made up this story in my mind that I'm a good person because I'm doing it for them. You know what I mean? I'm a good person because I don't want people to feel bad about themselves. So look at what I'm doing for people. And I feel like that's something that I told myself to help myself deal with the fact that I wasn't winning, or that I wasn't striving for something, or that I wasn't going after, you know what I mean, I wasn't going after goals and dreams, or any goals for that matter, at all, for that matter. And that's something I told myself, and it made sense in my head. But at the end of the day, I had to realize that by the actions I was taking, by not giving it everything I have, if we're in a competition, I'm taking away from not only myself, but the person that I'm competing with as well. I'm not helping anybody. Like, actually, I'm doing the exact opposite. I'm hurting everybody around me by not giving everything I have. Because, once again, going back to that quote of our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. One of the lines in there is, and I might be paraphrasing it, but the author of that quote says something like, I'm paraphrasing this, but by allowing our light to shine, we unconsciously give others permission to do the same. You know, so basically, by going after what it is you want in life, or by doing your best in a certain area, the people that's around you, they have no choice. They have two choices: either get better or stop doing it. Mm. You know what I mean? So, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't give it everything you have, because the people that want to do better, they're gonna, like, you can't. If you're the slowest runner on a team, you shouldn't run with people that's as fast as you or slower than you. You should run with people that's faster than you. Definitely. Because even if you don't beat them, even if you can't keep up, you will get faster. There's no, you know what I mean? There's no way, because you're going to train as hard as you can. You're going to go as hard as you can. So eventually you're going to get faster. So that's what I wanted to be for people. Yeah. But at the same time, it's crazy. I was sabotaging that. I wasn't doing it because I was afraid of judgment. I was afraid of rejection. I was afraid of isolation. I was afraid of losing friendships and people not want to be around me because they thought that I was going to be egotistical. But I wasn't even, but that's not the person I was. And it was crazy is that these were all ideas that I had that nobody ever told me that they felt this way. Like, you know what I mean? Like, true. I made this up. Like, I told myself that this was the case. And nobody ever came to me about that way. So that's something I dealt with as far as success.
I just want to say, you're such a nice person. You are so sweet. That's so sweet of you. That's so nice. But I'm definitely the opposite of that. Like, I've never... that never would have crossed my mind. No, seriously, I feel like the reason why I am where I am is because I've always felt that I needed to be the example. I always felt that I was the one to lead. Yeah. I've always felt that way. That's why and plus, like, I never was like interested in like partying or all the things that other people were around. I was always just focused on the things that I could control to make everybody better. Yeah. So that's interesting because I don't know if many people like really sit and like think about stuff like you.
And that's another thing I think that is really great to hear both sides of that, because on one side you got a person who was timid, who was insecure, who was afraid of what other people might think of them. Because I definitely didn't want people to judge me or label me a certain way, and I would not give what I could give because of that. And then on the other hand, you got a person that said, I'm going to show you how it's supposed to be done. Or I'm going to show, you know what I mean? I'm going to show you
another way.
Yeah, another way, or like basically you're going to lead by example. Or you're going to be the example, and I was looking for an example. So that's two different sides, and I think that there's people out there that deal with both right now. Like there's people out there on my side, people out there on your side, but ultimately at the same time, you have to realize, like, you got to realize what works for you. And what didn't work for me was what I was doing. Like, I wanted to be, I saw myself as a leader, but I wasn't leading anybody. I was just following everybody. And I think you obviously got to be a good follower before you can be a good leader. Right. But you have to be a good follower. That's real. I'm sorry, I just had, you know what I mean? Bing!
You did.
But no, because it's like you have to be a good follower before you can be a good leader. But nobody really talks about what is a good follower.
Well, actually, in the military, it's actually on our it's like a feedback. We have to do it twice a year. Your initial and then your midterm, and then you get on your final report card. You get how well you were a follower/leader. Yeah. So, but I'm gonna tell you, the very first time I saw that, I was like, "You gonna rate me on being a follower?" But after going through the different trainings and just even reading more, I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm a student." Like,
you gotta be a student before you can be a teacher. So that's real. But you gotta be a good student before you can be a good. So anyway, not saying that's a whole nother episode. You know what I mean? Like if you want to hear about that, but no, definitely, guys. So that's something that we went through with the whole success, the fear of success, because honestly, it really is a scary thing. And some of the things that there's just a little bit of research I did do on the topic. A big thing was the expectancy. Like when you get to a certain point of success, or when you do accomplish a goal, or you get an award at work, you get like an employee of the quarter at work or something like that. Now people are looking at you. People expect you to produce. People expect you to deliver on that same performance, if not more. So I think that that's a big thing, a big hindrance when people talk about the fear of success. So I mean,
but I think also, like, because in my case, I didn't even realize I was afraid, or I didn't even realize I was fearing success. My actions showed it, I guess. I guess my mentor saw that. So if you aren't where you want to be, I guess, because I don't know if I would have done it, but just ask yourself, how come I'm not where I want to be, or what am I doing to produce the results that I'm getting? Definitely. I think that's also another way if you don't have a mentor, if you're just trying to figure out where to start. Because that definitely did change my mindset after, like, realizing, what am I afraid of? Oh, why am I afraid? And just breaking down the steps.
Definitely. But that's the show, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully we gave you something tangible, or not tangible in the sense of like that, but hopefully we gave you something that, like, you can relate to and you can understand. Share with us some of your fear, like some of the things that you're dealing with as far as fear and success, and how are you overcoming it, or if you're still dealing with it, and because we're all just trying to help one another.
Definitely.
You want to hit us with that QOD, that quote of the day?
Pretty much everything we already said. Everything you want is on the other side of fear. Plain and simple, straight to the point.
Straight to the point, straightforward.
But yeah, but yeah, I definitely want to hear like because like I said, I'm just over here like marinating the subject because I really did not know I was afraid. So please share with us, like some things that you fear or that you're discovering about yourself.
Because at the end of the day, guys, yes, we're sharing with you, but somebody else might be watching, or maybe somebody else might come to this video and see your story or see something that you've gone through as far as pertaining to the fear of success. And they can relate better than they can relate to anything that we said. So ultimately, like I said, we're just trying everybody help everybody. You know what I mean? So it's not just about us trying to help, but all of us are on this journey together. So we're just trying to lift each other up as well as lift you guys up, and hopefully you guys can lift us up as well as everybody else around you.
Yes, sir. So thank you for everybody who has tuned in, everybody who will tune in. We really appreciate all the love and support. If you found that this was helpful, if there, like he said, there's something that you want us to talk about in the future, please just drop a comment below or send us a message. We do this show to remind you all and ourselves that every day you get, you are live. So because there's no edits, no filters, no cutbacks. So make sure that every day you get, you go live your show and make it phenomenal. See you guys next week.
All right, guys, take care.